Well, if you are really excited to see inside the Finnish-American Heritage Center, just hold your horses and wait a couple segments because we did have to take a stop. Look at this, arguably the world's largest kick sled.
Maybe not even arguably.
Maybe
I think it might just be the world's largest.
I don't even know how you would go about riding it, and we're here with some fellas to explain that. So we're back with Jim. So explain the premise behind this and how it came to be.
Well, kick sleds are very common in the Nordic countries, and people use them to go around in the winter. Not only kids might go to school on these, but elderly people use them as something to hold on to.
Sure.
Put your groceries on the seat if you buy something. And so this is a giant one, and it was made by a local man named Ed Salvola. He made it about 20 years ago. And we don't know for sure if it's the largest one, so we say arguably.
All right.
And
I was just going to give it to you.
There's a giant one in Norway, there's a giant one in Sweden, and several giant ones in Finland. So
maybe in the United States.
One of the world's biggest.
Definitely in the North America.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's the title, you guys. And say the word for me again in Finn.
You call this potkukelka or potkuri.
Okay. And so it's not necessarily, you're not necessarily taking it down a hill. You're using it to move around town.
Yeah,
it's like a skateboard.
You put one foot on one of the runners and the other foot you can kick.
Okay.
And if it's a nice flat surface like this, you get a nice clip going.
Sure.
Otherwise, you just walk with it and hold on to the handles.
It sounds like actually a great way to get across the parking lot at TV6 that's always icy.
There you go.
Create some stability.
I think we need to start using functional kick sleds in our everyday lives when we're just going to the grocery store and whatnot.
I think I would love that.
It seems like we've been missing out on this. Now, we do have a couple of other
Come on over here.
people with us, Corey and Fred. Welcome to Upper Michigan today. What's your involvement with these pieces of equipment here, with the big chairs or the kick sled? Were you helping refurbish them?
We did. We helped refurbish them in collaboration with the CCISD. The Hancock students were responsible for the Big Louie chairs. They basically refinished them and brought them back to life.
Awesome, and they look wonderful too. Is that a project that students tend to take on every year? Are they typically involved in the festival?
I'm not sure. This is my first year as a teacher at Hancock, so I'm not sure if they've been involved in the past, but we definitely like to do community service type activities and help get them involved in the community.
Well, how have you been liking being involved in the festival this year?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, we're definitely happy to help out. We had students from 8th graders to 12th graders, many with the Finnish heritage, working on the chairs and bringing them back to life.
Very cool.
So talk a little bit about the process of refurbishing something like this and what it really took to get it looking all nice like this.
Honestly, it didn't take much other than time, which we have very little of, but we do try to get into community service with career and technical education and try to get we have 14 districts, school districts that we serve. And we are Hancock involved with it as well, like Fred had mentioned, simply because it's a Hancock organization, Hancock community event right here for the whole Copper Country. But so there's 2 Hancock schools involved between CT and Hancock High School and middle school, like Fred said. But we had to take it apart, and literally when we took it apart, it fell apart, and the welds had broken. It's just been many years, and so our CT welding and manufacturing team and students did a lot of refurbishing on the welding, getting welds. There's patches, there's things that they had to cut out to reinforce, and then it was cleaned up and powder coated, the metal parts, all the uprights and what Jim has his hand on there. And then the wood parts, our construction, CT construction team and students took care of all of that, and disassembly and reassembly, so quite a bit to it.
Were you able to not just teach about building something like this, but then teach a bit of a history lesson with the kick sleds? And I feel like there's a lot of kids up here that know a lot more about something like this than I did.
They do. It's not as common as in Finland, of course, but we had names of students work on this, Finnish-American names such as Kempinen, Isaacson, Radiola worked on this. So they got to experience some of their culture and contribute back to the community was the main focus of it, and here we are.
Yeah, I love that.
Now, my question is, who wants to volunteer to show us how it's done?
Ooh, who is going to be the kick sled teacher? Are you going to be instructing us later on in the program?
Oh, sure.
I just wanted to see a quick little
on here.
Yeah,
no, we need the smaller version. This isn't the real version.
It's not rideable.
No.
I've been under the impression this whole time
this
that
isn't what we're
ride
riding.
this on the street. I'm so sorely mistaken.
There are smaller, like T.N. Elizabeth versions behind the Heritage Center?
I'm having a moment.
Is it all?
now.
Is it all?
It makes
yeah.
sense.
It's the cold.
I
We'll
was
blame the cold.
wondering. I truly was wondering how we were going to drive that, but I was
You
all in.
up here.
I was
and
all in,
I'll
Elizabeth.
push you down the hill.
I thought we were going to figure it out, but
not doing that.
okay, we're doing more manageable sized kick slides.
What's that?
The parade marshals for Heikinpaiva always ride on this.
Do they use
Are they
stilts?
on a trailer or do they pull it?
It's pushed.
It can be done, but probably more than one or two.
I think it'd take
people,
more
I
than just
imagine.
you and I. Yeah.
Probably. Well,
All right. Well, let's take a break now that Tia understands what's ahead. There's
I'm
no
starting
riding this.
to get it. I'm not riding that baby.
All right, I think we're headed inside the Heritage Center after the break. Yeah, perhaps. We'll see. We'll see where it takes us. We'll be right back.
Anything goes.